Good morning, 6 o'clock here on your Thursday. Thanks for waking up with us here on Up With KREM. I'm Tim Pham.
And I'm Nicole Hernandez. We want to get right to Jenny Power this morning. Jenny, yesterday was a little bit crazy in terms of weather. Windy, rain.
Goodness.
Yeah, you guys, that's why we were under that weather impact alert. It was a gusty Wednesday, not even a windy Wednesday across the inland Northwest. We saw some dust storms popping up. We got about 1/10 of an inch of rain in Spokane. And as we move forward here, we're kind of seeing some of the remnants of that system. The most noticeable factor this morning, the cooler temperatures that were brought in with that system. So we're only at 43 degrees right now in Spokane. We're trending partly cloudy, and it still is a bit breezy as winds out of the south-southwest have been about 14 miles per hour. Sustained. Across the rest of the region here, we're at 42 degrees for Deer Park as well as south to Moscow, in the mid-40s for Sandpoint and Coeur d'Alene, with some low 50s out toward Moses Lake and Omak. So you'll definitely want the jacket if you are headed out the door. We're waking up to drier conditions for eastern Washington and North Idaho, but still a few light scattered showers in central Washington as we're waking up. Winds have also still been breezy for the folks in Moses Lake as well as down on the Palouse, and we'll hang on to some of these elevated winds. It's just not going to be quite as gusty as what we saw yesterday. So through this afternoon, we are going to gradually see some increasing clouds, and this evening we have the chance of some hit or miss showers. The active weather I'm also tracking through the weekend coming up in my extended forecast. But for now, let's also get you out the door with a look at your traffic impact here. So far, no major collisions to report to you at this hour. This is a live look for you at I-90 and Argonne, where things for the most part are moving smoothly. The sun is shining, so you'll want the sunglasses. Of course, this is something we'll continue to monitor as we move forward, as traffic volumes are just now starting to kind of pick up. And a reminder for you, we want to take a look at this scene that actually happened out in Spangle yesterday. A viewer sent us this video. The windy conditions put parts of Spokane County under a dust storm warning. The weather led to some accidents that shut down State Route 195. Washington State Patrol tells us there were 2 different collisions that involved multiple vehicles and a bus. One person was taken to the hospital. Of course, this was one of the many elements that we saw happen here because of those windy, gusty conditions that we saw yesterday. Tim, Nicole.
Thank you, Jenny. Well, today is now day 2 of President Trump's visit to China. The Chinese president said the two countries should be partners, not rivals.
The two leaders also held a closed-door meeting in what the U.S. is describing as a good meeting. Chinese state media reports that President Xi issued a warning to President Trump over Beijing's top issue, which is Taiwan, saying the two nations will clash if the territory is not handled, quote, properly. Congress has approved a $14 billion weapons package for Taiwan. President Trump has yet to sign the bill, which China is strongly against.
There is definitely concern that he will trade away that arms sale in exchange for something else, whether that's for assistance on Iran or some kind of economic concession.
The president will have more meetings with the Chinese leader tomorrow before heading back to Washington, D.C. New at 6, we are getting new details this morning in the deadly stabbing of a University of Washington student. Seattle police shared these photos of the person they believe stabbed the 19-year-old to death. This happened Sunday night inside the laundry room of an off-campus housing complex. Seattle police are asking anyone who knows anything about the suspect to call their tip line.
The governor denied clemency for the man convicted of a Spokane murder, even though the Pardons Board recommended his sentence be reduced. Travis Cumslast has served 29 years of his last 46-year sentence. In June of 1996, Travis went to Christopher Gongin's home in Spokane while his family was asleep. Travis and another man woke Gongin up, got into an argument, and then Travis shot Gongin in the head. Gungin's family does not support the clemency, and the governor says he did not find it in the interest of justice.
Right now, an Idaho man is in the Kootenai County Jail for an accusation from a 2017 Kootenai County rape investigation. 62-year-old Michael Moore was arrested in the Philippines and was booked into the Kootenai County Jail on Sunday night following his deportation back to the United States. Investigators say multiple victims reported being drugged and sexually assaulted after responding to social media job advertisements connected to Moore's property near Coeur d'Alene. Authorities say Moore took off to the Philippines before charges were filed. He now faces multiple felony charges, including rape and delivery of a controlled substance. Parking in downtown Spokane could soon be more difficult. Spokane city leaders removed 45 parking spaces under downtown railroad viaducts.
So they did this for safety concerns and to reduce camping and loitering. The decision surprised many downtown business owners and the Spokane Downtown Partnership. They say they didn't know about this plan until it was happening. So now there are no more parking lines or parking meters in underpasses between Division and Cedar Streets. Police recommended this to improve visibility and make enforcement easier.
We want to try to see if we can find a long-term solution because we just don't have enough staffing for police officers to be there 24/7.
Spokane police say they will be reaching out to businesses and people in the area for feedback on public safety and how this will impact them. City officials said they can decide to put the parking back at any time.
This morning, we're tracking big updates coming to the Spokane International Airport and what it will mean for the changes the next time you fly or pick someone up.
KREM 2's Brandon T. Jones is live at the airport this morning. So Brandon, you have a bunch of information about this new big project. What's going on there?
Yeah, good morning, Tim, Nicole. Well, the work happening here at the airport is ultimately going to lead to a bigger, more connected space here at the airport that's going to also help keep up with all of the growth that we see here around the inland northwest. You can see some of the signs of that work right here across from the curbside drop off. This is all along Terminal C, B, and A as well. You can see the fencing that is up, and as the next phase of this project gets underway, again, you're going to notice some parking and road closures around the terminal. Let's go ahead and show you a map of what those closures look like right now. The area in red on this map is where short-term parking used to be. Now, that area has been fenced off, meaning you can no longer park there. The closure also impacts some of the ground level crosswalks between the parking lots and the airport. And while those are closed, you'll need to use another crossing or use one of the sky bridges inside the parking garage. The airport is putting up signs to help direct passengers on where to go. Now let's go ahead and talk about a reason for all of these closures. The airport is getting started on the next phase of its terminal renovation and expansion project. The work right now involves relocating major infrastructure ahead of construction on a new central hall at the airport. Plans include a combined baggage claim area, a security checkpoint on the second floor, and a connector that will link all of the terminals together. The closures you see right now are just the beginning, and coming up in the next half hour, we'll go over some of the other plans that'll start this summer here at the airport, including some road closures. So we'll give you all of that details coming up in just about 30 minutes or so. But for now, live here at the airport, Brandon T. Jones, KREM 2 News.
Adams Elementary School is officially demolished. That means it is now time for crews to start working on the new building. The groundbreaking will be this evening at 4 o'clock. The money for this new school is coming from the Spokane Public Schools bond that voters recently approved.
And as you're headed out the door, don't forget the jacket. We are trending much cooler this morning compared to what we've seen here lately. Right now, we're still in the low 40s through Spokane, mid 40s for Coeur d'Alene and Sandpoint, and some low 50s for my friends in Moses Lake. Daytime highs are also trending much cooler here, just reaching the low 60s this afternoon for Spokane and Coeur d'Alene, which is a huge difference in comparison to the 80s that we were seeing on Tuesday. In fact, really through the first half of May, we were trending above average, but as we take a look at your almanac for the day today, we're actually trending a little bit cooler than average. Yesterday, we did pick up 1/10 of an inch of rain out at the Spokane International Airport, but this cooler, more unsettled weather pattern will actually continue for us through this upcoming weekend, as daytime highs will only be in the mid to upper 50s with the chance of isolated thunderstorms on Saturday.
The Spokane Indians return home to Avista Stadium next week, and KREM 2 will be a part of the action. Tuesday, May 19th is KREM 2 night. Sports reporters Caitlin Galloway and Mike Boyle will be live from the ballpark in our evening newscast. We will have interviews with players and the front office. The Indians will be playing the Vancouver Canadians. First pitch is set for 6:35, and the theme of the night is Bark in the Park. And time for your wake-up call. Speaking of baseball, we want to know, what is your favorite thing about going to a baseball game? Is it the food, or are you a fan of the giveaways? Or maybe both. Someone said they love going to the games for the food and hanging out with friends. Others, hot dogs and ice cream and that crack of the bat sound. All really great. Can't wait for more baseball here. And don't forget, again, KREM 2 night happening next week. Join the conversation. Text us at 509-448-2000.